What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner, and today we're going to be talking about some of the necessities I think you need for your rifle. This also works with handguns, but for today's video, I'm specifically talking about rifle stuff. So let's get into it. First off, I want to say it's a pretty crazy world out there right now. Every time I open up like Instagram or Facebook or anything, all you see is just this really bad news, and it is really bad. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world between the hurricane on the East Coast, the missile strikes in Israel and the surrounding countries. Like, it's insane right now. Plus inflation, all that stuff. Again, I think it's kind of crazy. So I see a cycle working at the gun store that I work at. People are pretty calm during like just the calm times where nothing too crazy is going on. But as soon as like one little thing like sets off, it can go into like full chaos. We saw that with COVID, and I never expected like the gun sales to skyrocket during COVID. Again, I've been in the gun industry for about 10 years, so I've seen some ups and downs, and COVID was by far the craziest. Prior to that, the big one that I always heard about was Sandy Hook, and that jumped the price of like AR mags and stuff like that to like 80 bucks. We haven't seen AR mags go up to like 80 bucks since I've been in the gun industry, but we have seen ammo prices go up, we've seen supply get hard to get, and just a variety of other things. So this video is not to like scare you into anything. I just kind of want to talk briefly about some stuff and what I think, like let's say you buy an AR or buy any rifle, the bare minimum things that I think you should have with it, especially if you are worried about, you know, not being able to get it, protecting your family, just everything that you could possibly think of. So we're going to try to cover it briefly. So yeah, let's say you go out and you want to buy your first AR, or you just bought your first AR because you just want to go shoot for fun. Nothing wrong with that. You can have fun with ARs. It's fun to go shoot matches, go to the range, shoot in the desert or the forest with your friends. I live in the desert here in Arizona, and yeah, it's perfectly okay to have fun and want it for fun purposes. But if you want it for self-defense purposes, this all still goes in line with what I want to say. So again, let's say you buy an AR. I'm going to talk about the necessities that I think you should have with it in order to be able to use it, have it, maintain it, stuff like that. So this is not like set in stone, you have to have this. This is just my recommendation as a gun owner. So let's say you buy the rifle. I think it's good to have a pair of sights on there, right? You could have iron sights, you can have an optic, and I'm not talking brand specific, but let's just say, you know, you want to put an optic on there, you can get a decent optic for about 150 to 200 bucks. I would shy from going under the 150 range because there's just, then you run the risk of it being a crappy optic. But I have personal experience with like the Sig Romeo 5 or some of the Holosun 403s. Those are inexpensive red dots. They work pretty good. If you're looking for like a scope, Vortex scopes, it's very hard to beat those. So just quick brands that you can think about. If you want higher end stuff, I've done lots of videos on higher end stuff too. But yeah, that or iron sights. Magpul makes some of the best iron sights for the money. But yeah, I think it's an absolute necessity to have some type of sight system, whether it be a red dot or iron sights on your gun, so you can aim what you're shooting at. If you want to know how to get it zeroed to your gun, I've done a video on that for basically AR-15s, like how to zero red dots or iron sights. So I've done a video on that. And then next up, after sights, I do think it's good to have a sling on your gun, so that when you're out shooting, I know indoor ranges, it probably doesn't matter, but let's say you're out in the desert at an outdoor range, I think it's really good to have a sling on your gun, just so you can hold it to your body. Let's say you had to move with a gun on your body for whatever reason, you needed your hands free, a sling is very important, and it's a fairly inexpensive accessory to add onto your gun. You can do it for sub 100 bucks. Depending on the mounting system you need, you might have to buy some parts, but it's relatively speaking under $100. So I've done a video on how to sling your guns. And then let's say you want your gun for self-defense purposes. If you're just using it as a range toy, you probably don't need a light, but for self-defense purposes, I would say it's good to have a light because, you know, sometimes bad things happen at night and you need to be able to see what you're aiming at. So I think a light is very important for that purpose. Again, if you just want it for a range toy or a competition gun, you probably don't need a light unless it dictates it. So yeah, I've done a video on lights too. I'd say cheap light that's really good that I personally use would be Streamlight. About $150-ish for a setup where you get the light and a pressure pad. So I would say that's the bare minimums of the rifle itself. You have the gun, you have some type of optic system, you have a sling and a light. That's the bare minimum. Anything else after that is kind of a luxury, whether it be upgraded triggers, charging handles, colorful accessories, even a vertical grip. That's a luxury. You don't need it to shoot. So just know that. And then we're going to talk about magazines and ammo real fast. So actually, before we talk about mags and ammo, let's talk about the most important thing. Your gun's not going to work very well if you don't have a way to clean it and oil it. And it's not going to be great if you need it cleaned and oiled because it's not functioning, but you know, your local gun store gets taken out by a hurricane. You need to be able to maintain your guns. So yeah, buy this cleaning kit. This was my very first cleaning kit. Like, this is the actual case I bought like almost 10 years ago. I bought my first gun in 2015, and this was the kit I bought. It was like 50 bucks. Right now these are like 60 bucks, but this is the M Pro 7 Tactical Cleaning Kit. So it comes with cleaner, oil, patches, and it comes with the brushes for an AR-15, comes with 12 gauge, 9mm, 45. It comes with everything you need. You're not paying too much of an extra for those other brushes if you don't need them, because those things are like sub $2 a piece. So I would just buy this kit. It comes in a nice little case. Mine is slightly different because I use it and store other stuff in here too. Actually, I have Altoid cans, but you'll basically get a cleaner, an oil, and a bunch of other stuff. This is just what the inside looks like, and it makes a good storage case. So again, about 60 bucks. You have everything you need to clean your gun. And if you only have one gun or a rifle and a handgun, this will clean it. I mean, unless you shoot an insane amount, this will clean it for at least a year. You might have to buy more patches, which those are fairly inexpensive. So yeah, learn how to clean your own gun. I've done videos of disassembly on ARs, AR-style rifles, and handguns. So learn how to clean your own gun. It'll save you the 25 bucks or 40 bucks, depending on wherever you go. But it's very easy to clean a gun. It might only take at most 30 minutes of your time on a handgun. Sometimes it could take longer if it's really dirty or if I get OCD, but and then like an hour to 2 hours on an AR if you're going in depth, because yeah, I just get OCD about it. But very easy to clean and maintain. So cleaning kit's very important. Now we'll talk about mags and ammo. Now this is the one where it's like, it's very important, but people, their opinions on like how much you need differs. And even me, like I differ with a lot of people on this. So magazine wise, obviously the more the merrier, right? But let's be honest, how many do you really need? I would say if it's your only rifle or your only handgun, I mean, I could not see any less than 3 mags, like any less. If that's all you can get, and some guns come with 3 mags, like Sons of Liberty, ARs come with 3 mags, Glocks come with 3 mags. Like, I think that's a really good starting number, but I would say the bare minimum for me would be at least 5. And the reason why I would say 5 is I would want 2 for some type of self-defense purpose, whether that be hollow points or you have like green tip ammo, which has that mild steel core penetrator. Whole different video on that. But yeah, I tend to run mags with hollow points and the green tip ammo. It's different reasons. I am a believer of hollow points for self-defense, home defense, stuff like that. It's just more effective for inside the boundaries of your home. But I would say at least 5 mags, because I would do 2 for home defense. I would want at least 2 for the range, and then that 5th mag, do whatever you want with it. You can make it an extra home defense mag, you can make it an extra range mag, or you could keep it as a spare. Just leave it empty, whatever. But I would say 5 at the bare minimum is what I would do personally. Now, again, if you're only using it for a range gun, then maybe just do the 3 or 2. But yeah, I would say 5 is very inexpensive to do because AR mags are as cheap as 10 bucks. Our store sells PMags for like 11 bucks. You could probably find them online at a deal for like 10 bucks. So Magpul PMags, most popular AR mag out there. So it's very easy to get 5 mags. Your gun probably came with 1. 4 extras, like another 40 bucks to you. So it's not too bad. So I would say at the minimum 5, but I would say a gold standard, if you can do it, would be 10, because then it's you have a few extra for the range, you have a few extra for self-defense, and then I also think it's good to have extra mags as backup mags, because you know they are kind of an expendable item, meaning like once you use them, they're done, or they can be done. I guess in like military terms, they would, if they drop it, they would leave it there. But for civilian terms, like what if you break one, or what if you lose one, or someone takes one? I've had that at the range, right? You drop a mag, you forget to pick it up. It happens. So I think having 10 total, it's not too bad, and they store pretty nicely. Like I don't even know how many mags I have here, but that's not a lot of space to store the mags. You can keep them loaded or unloaded if you want. I have dedicated range mags, dedicated home defense, self-defense, whatever mags. But yeah, I think 10 is a good number, but 5 would be my minimum. My minimum for my guns would be 10. I have 10 mags for every type of gun I own. But again, you don't have to do it exactly how I do it. And then ammo-wise, my ideal minimum, and this is where money comes into play. My ideal minimum, if it's your only gun, would be 1,000 rounds as like your baby step number 1. If you guys know who Dave Ramsey is, his baby step number 1 for money savings is have $1,000 in your savings. That's my baby step number 1. Have 1,000 rounds of ammo as your savings, because during COVID, ammo got so expensive. Like 5.56, 223 $1 per round, or more depending on where you were. But for us, it got to about $1 per round. And it's not even that like the stores want to charge that much for it. It just comes down to the supply and demand at that point. So it's really tough. And obviously I don't want to pay $1 per round, but that's why I've bought prior to these panic times. And right now, just today, I've seen all the videos on Instagram. Again, like I'm on Instagram a lot, but people are posting, oh, Costco's selling out of water, selling out of toilet paper. I'm like, we're really doing this again? Yeah, just kind of crazy. So, and I don't want another panic buy. Like that's not what I want. I'm not trying to panic you guys into it. I'm just saying, like, if you know you want this stuff, then you should probably already have it, so you're not paying a premium during those times. So in my mind, I'm not worried because I've already had this stuff. I bought it because I wanted it prior to any panic times. I'm just telling you guys because people still buy guns every day, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, we sell guns every single day at our store. We buy guns every single day at our store. And I'd say this year we've been buying so much because I feel like the economy is pretty bad. A lot of people need money, so I understand why they need to sell their guns. But then I feel like a lot of it is the same people that buy during the panic time. So like, oh, well, I haven't needed it these last 2 years from COVID, or I don't even know, COVID was 2020. That's like 4 years ago now. Well, I haven't used it in these last 4 years, but I bought it during COVID, paid a premium, selling it at a loss. But then if another panic happens, then they might buy it again. So I don't think you should do that. You should buy it when you're steady and it's not a hindrance on your finances, but also keep it because, I mean, it's kind of a guarantee that something's going to happen every X amount of time. I don't know what, could be natural disasters, something tragic, like, you never know. But if you bought it because of a panic time, chances are you'll want to have it at some point. So just my thoughts. So 1,000 rounds is, I would say, the bare minimum that I would recommend, but I understand it's not for everyone. Now, 1,000 rounds of AR ammo, you can find it. I don't check online prices, but maybe $400 to $500 for 1,000 rounds, which if you think about it, pre-COVID, I don't even remember. It was like $250 to $300 for 1,000 rounds pre-COVID. It's never been pre-COVID prices again, which sucks. But yeah, it was like $250-ish, $300 for 1,000 rounds of AR ammo. And this is just PMC ammo. It's good ammo. I've shot thousands of rounds of it. It works great. So I would stick with brass if you can. Steel case ammo is generally cheaper, but it's not as good for your guns. It's going to require more maintenance, and you're going to have more issues in the long run with steel case ammo. So I would stick with buying brass if you can. But let's say you can't buy 1,000 rounds, right? Like, I get it. Not everyone can spend that money. And again, I don't want you to go in debt buying all this at once. This is just, I've built this up over time. Ideally, you guys should be building this up over time, but if times get tough with ammo, that's the first thing that's going to be really hard to get, because I'm also seeing all the port strikes on the East Coast right now. You hear, oh yeah, that's going to affect ammo, it's going to affect this and that. I don't for sure know. Like, I'm not an expert on that subject. I just see the videos, and you know, I try not to, like, I don't panic buy. Like, again, I've been buying this, but like, it's like, okay, well, is that really going to affect ammo? How soon? You know, stuff like that. So yeah, I've been buying ammo for a while, but let's say you don't have any, at least buy 100 rounds, guys. Like, again, it comes down to, like, if you're gonna spend X amount on a gun, right? Like, I've done videos on budget guns, expensive guns, whatnot. Just plan in your budget to buy the gun, plus the optic, plus some mags, ammo, cleaning kit, and you can figure it out yourself, right? Like, I'm not trying to tell you exactly how you have to do it. I just think you should leave some budget for some mags, for some ammo, for the cleaning kit. Like, please do the cleaning kit. It's $50. Just do it. Even if you buy the basic bare bones AR one, you're probably going to spend, I would assume, 25. Like, just whatever budget you do, make sure you leave room for the cleaning kit, and watch one of my videos on how to take it apart and clean it. But yeah, mag wise, if you want to just stick with the one, go for it. But you physically cannot shoot the gun without ammo. So at the very least, buy 100 rounds of ammo. You might pay like 50 to 75 cents a round. I don't know where the prices are all over the country, but yeah. You'll probably pay 10 to 15-ish dollars a box per 20 rounds of 5.56 or 223 ammo. As far as 5.56 versus 223, I would say they shoot about the same for range ammo. And then again, if you're buying like 1,000 rounds for your end of the world ammo, like Apocalypse ammo, I still think hollow points are better, but I'm not saying that the standard full metal jacket or your range ammo can't get the job done. I just prefer some hollow points. So if you can, you know, buy some range ammo, buy some hollow points. If you use hollow points, always test at least a couple mags worth through your gun. Make sure you can shoot accurately with it and that it feeds properly in your gun. But yeah, PMC is good ammo. They also do hollow points. I tend to like all their ammo. I haven't had any issues with it. So I would say at the least buy 100 rounds. The bare minimum that I could like honestly recommend would be 500 rounds, because again, shooting wise, it's hard to shoot less than 100 rounds when you go to the range. You figure, you know, 100 rounds is just over 3 mags of ammo. People tend to mag dump when they first get an AR. I did that too. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun, until you realize how much money you're spending. So yeah, and you can do some low round count drills. A lot of those came out during COVID time because ammo got expensive. But yeah, if you like plan your range trip ahead of time and you want to practice drills, you don't have to shoot 300 rounds in one sitting. You can, but you don't have to. If cost is a factor in your buying, then, you know, be a little bit more like stingy with how you do things at the range. You know, maybe don't mag dump, just get some good practice in, But yeah, ammo is going to be an important one, guys, and I can't tell you how readily available it's going to be during whatever times. I'm just telling you that, you know, people tend to buy it up during those panic times, and it sucks if it does suck for the people that really want to buy it, but it's either so expensive or it's all gone. And I saw that a lot during COVID. People are like, I'll buy whatever gun you have ammo for. And that's probably not a good feeling to have when you're buying a gun. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Again, I know it sounds kind of like bad. It's not bad, but my goal is just trying to get some of the new guys into the mindset of having this ahead of time so that they don't panic buy it. Now, guaranteed, anytime something bad happens, people are going to panic buy. It doesn't matter how many people you educate, people are going to panic buy. So yeah, just know that it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I hope this helped you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. I also want to do more videos with my buddy Mason. We're going to be planning a video on just like overall preparedness. He's been on the channel a few times. I'm going to make a playlist with all the videos I've done with him because he's a big book of knowledge, and I like having him on the channel. So go check out some of my other videos, and thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my next one.